West, Arizona taking on Utah. I believe it was a fresh ass whooping, the kids call it, a month ago there, Merrill, by Arizona at home over this Utah team. But Utah's different at home than they are on the road. And I guess we can say the same thing about Arizona here. So, what gives in this matchup tonight in the big out in the Pac 12? What's left of it?
One of the better games on the board tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, Arizona at Utah. And revenge is often an overused term in sports in general, but I do use it a lot in college basketball. And it's not necessarily revenge because they want to kick their butts and get their revenge, but it's also just because we have second meetings, have data to look at it the first time. But where revenge does kind of come into play is a couple situations where we have strong home courts and the better team. Now, Utah is not the better team. That's why they're a home dog tonight. But this is a strong home court situation for several reasons. First of all, the thin air and altitude alone gives them an advantage, especially over a valley team like Arizona or a West Coast, some of the California teams. And the numbers show this every year. And Utah, once again, perfect 12-0 straight up at home versus just 3-7 away from home this season. Arizona, meanwhile, 12-0 at home, just 5-5 away from home. So that initially makes your short list to take a look at Utah here, plus the points. Line open 5.5. It's holding 5.5 in most situations still. Hasn't seen much movement. But the other reason is because it is a rematch and there is a revenge motive. And one of the reasons revenge works isn't because the team wants to get even. It's because the other team often overlooks the opponent after an easy win. And Arizona won that game very easily a month ago on January 6th by 19, 92-73. They only led the game by 3 points at halftime. Then they pulled away in the second half. I don't expect that to happen. If anything, the second half is going to be tougher for Arizona in the thin air and altitude, the fatigue factor. And something else that always favors home teams in college basketball is they usually shoot better at home. And this is something we see across the board for decades. And Utah did struggle to shoot on the road in that last game, shot only 28.5% from 3 point range. And overall, they were outshot 60 to 41%. I severely doubt that Arizona is going to hit 60% of their shots on the road. If they do tonight, they win, but I don't think that happens. Arizona still had 17 turnovers in that game at home. Utah only had 11 on the road. So I think turnovers could be a problem for Arizona in this game tonight. It all adds up to a live home dog, in my opinion, with the Utah Utes plus the 5.5. Undefeated home court with revenge. And I look for the box score to be a little bit more favorable for the Utes this evening. By the way, I have two strong college basketball best bets and also a bonus free NBA play tonight on my page. So check that out for Thursday. Steve Merrill, wagertalk.com.